have you ever wondered how preparing food used to be before supermarket, refrigeration, all the freezing that goes on to make our food chain so sanitized and clean? Well, in Peshawar in Pakistan, they still use the old methods, the traditional method of buying produce, preparing produce and cooking produce, and it all has to be market fresh so it's clean and safe to eat. So join me tonight for a special video where I'm invited to a private home for a fish barbecue. I'm looking forward to this Muttonistas, don't miss this one. Okay viewers, we're rested up, well not much of a rest, but we're espressoed up, and we're going to have fish barbecue at a private home tonight. Here in Peshawar, we don't go to Tesco's, to Aldi, to Carrefour to buy our stuff, we go to the market, and we don't have it lying around in the fridge, so we buy everything fresh just before we eat it. Now, we start off by buying the spices or the masala from a specialty spice mixer. Okay. I've seen that chili, probably star anise and cardamom, I think, in there. Maybe salt. So having bought the spices, the next phase is to actually buy the fish. So we are in the fish market in the old centre of Peshawar. We have literally walked past wall-to-wall fish vendors, and some vendors are selling fresh fish, just plain fresh fish, and some of the vendors have pre-prepared some masala fish which they fry up for people to eat in their little restaurants. So, whilst that looks absolutely scrumptious, we are actually having barbecued fish in a private home. We've been to the fishmongers to check out what we need, so we are now going to buy the masala and spices and the fish, and I believe watch it get prepared at the fishmongers to take home for the barbecue. So most markets tend to be open early in the morning, through the morning, and sometimes just over the other side of lunchtime if you're lucky. But not here in Peshawar. They are literally open all night, or all evening at least. And I do believe it is possible to buy produce at this market until about 10 o'clock in the evening, which is quite unusual. But I suppose if people all buy their stuff from markets and not from supermarkets, then it's understandable why they're open so late. And of course, it's not just fish that people are buying at this time of the evening. Sweets, of course, as well. I don't know what this is. Is this some sort of faluda or something? Or a fruit chaat? I've never heard of fruit chaat before.
It's a fruit salad.
It's a fruit salad. Is that a famous local dish in Peshawar? And what's in a fruit chaat?
There is a apple, a banana, pomegranate, and some dates. You can see. Cream.
Okay.
And cream.
And cream.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought for a second we were dealing with yogurt here, but obviously not. We're dealing with cream.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense because the fruit and the yogurt might clash a little bit. And what's
kheer.
Oh, that's kheer.
Yeah, that's
kheer we've had a few times. Yeah.
This is a milk shop.
A milk shop.
Yeah,
okay.
Butter, milk.
Okay. Dairy
Yogurt.
produce.
Yeah,
Okay.
You can have a short from here.
Okay.
This is
Okay. Pretty thick set yogurt. And here, what is? Is this?
yogurt as well.
Okay, a different style of milk.
This is the cream they collect from the yogurt.
Ah, this is the cream they collect from the yogurt, and that is the plain Thick set yogurt. Ah, okay.
Step by step, they put it over here.
Okay. And what do we have here? Is that okay? It looked like buffet. Yeah, that's the heavy dessert.
They are selling from this huge bucket.
What are they selling from this huge
Milk.
milk? Okay, this is where people buy their milk. Wow. Okay. This is the local soup apparently. Chicken soup with boiled eggs. So what consideration would you make when deciding which stall to buy the fish from?
All fish over here are fresh, but usually we have a specific shop we buy usually.
Okay.
So we are going there.
Okay.
You know that?
So there are a few different types of fish here, and I'm not actually sure what they are. We've been talking about raw fish in the past, but I don't even know which one that is.
Mostly, this is the silver fish.
Okay.
This one is the carps. And that's only catfish. This one's the
Catfish, catfish. Oh yeah, with the whiskers. Yes, I can see that.
So today we are going to buy the carps.
The carp.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So the fish is being weighed, and we buy by the kilo here. Okay, that's a whole lot of fish for tonight. I don't know how many people are coming.
Hayat Ustaz. His name is Hayat.
Hello, Hyatt.
Yes. He is a famous fish merchant
Okay.
over here.
How many years has he been working as a fish?
From 26 years.
26 years, and I guess you can tell by how quickly he's whacking those scales off the fish. So in Europe, when you buy fish, even if you buy a whole fish from the fishmonger, the fish is pre-prepared. It's gutted, descaled, the whole lot, so you can just slam it in the oven or the grill or whatever you want to do almost immediately. Here, when you buy the fish, it still has to be prepared, and our man here is an expert. He's been doing this for 26 years. So here they are preparing fish for restaurants. The heads have all been cut off, as have some of the scales, and the remaining parts of the fish, which again have had the guts removed from the inside, are now in that big bucket. The fillets here are being washed and thrown into this enormous pile. So this again would be for a restaurant that wants just the fillet of the fish. Okay.
This is our fish.
Ah, this
We
is
are
our
going to
fish
grill
here. Okay.
tonight.
So what is he trying to remove whilst he's washing the fish then?
He's cleaning from inside, you know, the...
To remove any more guts
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
still there. Okay. Before some of you say, "Oh, mutton, what are you eating here? Oh, this looks terrible, doing it like this, it's filthy, this, that and the other." Many years ago, before we all had massive fridge freezers and massive refrigeration centres, this is how we used to prepare fish in the UK. So there's nothing wrong with preparing it like this. Just make sure in countries like this, where the water supply is a bit iffy, that it's well cooked. No tartar for me tonight. Okay, so now salt is going into the water to help wash the fish. So is salt ever used to preserve fish here? No, just to
They're
wash.
just putting salt that every part of the fish gets some salt
Okay.
when you fry it, so you can have good taste.
Okay.
Actually, we
They
are
will remove
preparing
the salt.
it for barbecue.
Ah, okay. So not everybody would have their fish salted, is that correct? We've just chosen to have ours salted, yes, okay.
There are two ways to put salt.
Mm-hmm.
The first way is to put salt in water with the fish. Another way is to, like this. You can pour salt on this as well.
Oh,
Right
okay.
away.
Ah, so now is this the spice that we just bought?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. This is now. At the fishmongers, they are actually adding the spices that we bought to the fish after having salted it to prepare the fish for the barbecue. Now there I was wondering, well, why do we have to buy the spices first? Now of course I realise why we had to do it this way round. So, there we are folks, tonight's dinner, ready to go on that barbecue. We've arrived at the house, or the ranch, or whatever you want to call it, and it's actually split into two sections. There's the family living section, but there's an area for male guests for recreation and entertainment, I suppose, and we have a barbecue nicely stoked up with coal or charcoal, I think. So the stove is used A for keeping us warm, and B to put the massive kettle on top of it for when it's time for tea.
Pashtun tradition, the house have two portions, you know. One is hujra, when the male guests come and they can, you know, do different things, have gossips and stay over. And the other is the family portion, where no other guests can go inside.
So there we are, quite a big house, and apparently built from scratch not too many months ago. Privileged enough to get a little tour of the guest quarters of a Pakistani house. Not many people get to do that, I'm sure, and it's something I didn't think I was going to get to do. Have a guest room.
Buying some furniture for this place. This is the guest room.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, this is the family house, so I'm really privileged to get a little shot of the family area. So very well illuminated.
Pashtun family live together.
Okay.
Yes, that's why they.
Okay. The master bedroom with a large screen and a MacBook, and obviously an ensuite bathroom as well. Weapon for hunting, okay. Wow, I wouldn't know what to do with one of those. Okay. Okay, so a traditional shotgun. Ah, okay. What is the name of this instrument? So this is a rabat, which is a traditional Pakistani instrument. Okay, family barbecue area.
You can enjoy the stars.
Yes.
It's cloudy tonight.
Okay, that was a good walk, and the cooking has now started. The fish are being slowly barbecued. And how long would these fish be cooked for?
In just 10 minutes.
10 minutes, wow, that's that quick. So apparently the fish is barbecued until the marination is basically dried out. So if you can see on the left, those are nearly done, whereas these probably need a little bit more time. And towards the end of the barbecuing process, I believe some oil is then added to the fish. The fish is going to be basted with oil. And what sort of oil would you be using? Just vegetable oil, or?
Yeah, vegetable oil. You can use olive oil.
Okay.
Any oil you like.
Now, I'm trying to remember whether I've ever had carp before. It's possible I have. I mean, I've eaten a lot of expensive fish dishes in Japan, and I'm pretty sure the carp is prized there, but I couldn't put my finger on when or where I might have eaten it before. So maybe the taste will be a bit of a new sensation for me. I have to say, the secret's A, in the freshness of the fish, and B, in that exquisite marinade.
Our friend from England, he's a master chef cooking fish for us today.
Yes, amateur vlogger, amateur barbecuer, and I'm really looking forward to tasting the end product when it's actually cooked through. So the kettle has been put on, and we're going to see now how they make the Peshawar green tea, or the Pashtun green tea. Can you describe what's going in there? That's the green tea.
Green tea. Now they're putting.
Okay.
They already put the lachi.
Put the
Lachi.
lachi.
So what are we lachi da?
Okay, so the cardamom has already gone in, and thankfully none of that huge pile of sugar went in as well.
Yeah, that was killing that was
Okay. And how long does it take to boil?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, so when we said 5 minutes, we mean from this point. It has actually been boiling away for, simmering away for an hour. Okay, and to round off the evening, we have some pumpkin halva. If you watched yesterday's video, or rather the last video, you'll remember how much I enjoyed that, because pumpkin possibly is a vegetable that lends itself better to making sweets with than carrot, and certainly better so than dal. Anyway, down to the table, and it's not a meal in Peshawar if you don't have the green tea. Slightly sweet, but you might find this hard to believe for a vegetable like pumpkin. It almost imparts a fruity flavour when it's cooked and the starches and the sugars are released. Anyway folks, I'm going to wrap this video up now. Fantastic night. The experience of buying the masala, taking the fish after we bought it, getting it salted, getting it marinated in the masala, looking at the market stalls even at that time of night, and then coming to a Peshwari gentleman's home to try the fish barbecue. What an experience that was. I'm very lucky to have been able to experience it. So I have to thank everybody here, and I'm going to swivel the camera around so you know who everybody is. We have the tour guide, Shahid, who's done a fantastic job. Only got a hold of him at the last minute. I'll leave his details in the description box. If you come to Peshawar, please think of hiring him. Umar isn't here, but he did a great job as well. And then we have Dr. Hasib, who's a dentist who lives in Peshawar. I didn't find my jokes to be too cheesy. And then we have Zada, who has done the most sterling of jobs driving me around. Dr. Hasim, who has been a star, showing me the fish market, inviting me to his coffee shop. Finally, I found the holy grail of some decent espresso there, and showed wonderful hospitality, inviting me back for the fish barbecue. Thank you. And finally, we have Muhammad Sadiq, the cousin of Dr. Hasim, who again has shown wonderful hospitality to me during this trip. So that is my last night in Peshawar. It has most definitely been the best place I've visited in this trip to Pakistan, and I hope to come back again. I do wish England sometime would play a test match here. It is on the British government's don't visit list, which I think is a little bit unreasonable. It's not a war zone, and I felt perfectly safe here. The hospitality from everybody was fantastic. People offering to buy me things, not charging for me for things. You don't see that in Europe. Anyway, folks, as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'm going to have to love you and leave you. You probably couldn't beat that for freshness, but there's one thing you definitely can't beat, and that's a bit of mutton.